Business Incorporated will beam our searchlight on Nigeria's building construction sector as operators seek cost-effective ways of carrying out their activities. How are they addressing the impacts of falling oil prices on the sector? We will be listening to a practitioner in the industry, a former president of Nigeria Institute of Building, Chuks Omeife. Hello and welcome to the program. I'm glad you could join me. I am Bolaji Akinwale. Let's begin with the headlines. 4 Nigerian banks emerge among top 500 banks globally. Also, the Central Bank of Nigeria has disbursed loans to 5 generation and distribution companies in the power sector as a way to boost the provision of electricity to Nigerians. A new report has listed First Bank of Nigeria, Zenith Bank, Guaranty Trust Bank and Access Bank among the top 500 banks in the world. The United Kingdom-based magazine owned by the Financial Times, The Banker and Brand Finance in London in their annual 2015 Top 500 Banking Brands also ranks First Bank of Nigeria as the #1 banking brand in the country for the 4th consecutive time. According to statements, First Bank moves from being number 382 in 2014 to 336 this year. Zenith Bank moved from 453 in 2014 to 388 position. Guaranty Trust Bank moved from 422 to 417, while Access Bank makes its first entry into the ranking. The brand value of First Bank has increased to $300 million this year from $228 million in 2014. According to the economics editor of the magazine, Silvio Pavoni, the Brand Finance obtained brand-specific financial and revenue data, modeled the market to identify the demand and the position of individual bank in the context of all other market competitors, established the royalty rates for each bank, and calculated the discount rates specific to each bank. This takes account of its size, geographical presence, reputation, gearing and brand rating and discounted future royalty stream to a net position value, which is the brand value. Wells Fargo of the United States, the report stated, retained the #1 banking brand in the world for the 3rd consecutive year and was followed by banks in China, the United Kingdom and Spain in the first 10 position. Wells Fargo's brand value for 2015 was put at $34.9 billion as against $30.2 billion in 2014. The Central Bank of Nigeria, in the bid to resolve the liquidity challenges in the power sector, has released 18.26 billion naira as loan to 5 power firms. The loan, which was given at an interest rate of 10% with a repayment period of 10 years, was part of the 213 billion naira Nigerian Electricity Market Stabilization Facility. The 3 benefiting power generation and 2 distribution companies had their respective chief executive officers in attendance during the commencement of the disbursement of the loan. The Ibadan Electricity Distribution PLC received the highest amount of 11.36 billion naira, while the Eko Electricity Distribution Company followed with 5.16 billion naira. For the generation companies, Jeba Hydroelectric PLC received the highest amount of 816.83 million naira, while Kenji Hydroelectric PLC and Shiroro Hydroelectric PLC got 678.85 million naira and 234.81 million naira each. The disbursement of the loan is a follow-up to the Memorandum of Understanding which was signed last December by the Central Bank, the participating deposits money banks and the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. The agreement was to facilitate the channeling of funds to the firms in order to de-risk the value chain in the electricity supply markets. The Central Bank Governor, Godwin Emefiele, described the facility as a major initiative to reset the economics of the power sector.
The CBN sees this 213 billion Nigerian Electricity Stabilization Facility as a way to kickstart the electricity market in a way that ensures that the sector can deliver tangible improvement in power supply for all Nigerians. We see this facility as a major initiative to reset the economics of the power sector. In particular, with the banking sector, the Central Bank of Nigeria is providing this facility to address recent shortfalls in the power sector revenues caused by needed adjustments in the electricity tariff and legacy gas debts. The facility will be paid back over the lifetime of a reset electricity tariff.
We urge the firms to utilize the firms to upgrade their infrastructure and warn them against diverting the loans to other operational activities not contained in the agreement.
In exchange for this intervention, we truly expect parties that are collecting these funds today to, one, ensure that the funds are repaid as and when they fall due, ensure that all inputs into the generation of power are ramped up in a consistent and acceptable manner in line with our agreements, invest the funds in the necessary improvements in generation, plant maintenance, transmission upgrades, and distribution networks, including transformers and better metering for end users and consumers.
I congratulated the 5 firms for being the first set of power companies that met all the requirements to receive the funds. It called on others to learn from the 5 companies and follow the rules as soon as possible so that the Central Bank could disburse the tranches of the facility. The Ministry of Power, Professor Chinedu Nebo, describes the disbursement as a major step that would help unlock the power sector. We will go on a break. When we come back, we will take a look at the development in the construction sector in the face of volatile oil prices in the international markets. And later on, we will get to hear from an expert in the industry. You're watching Business Incorporated on Channels Television. We'll be right back.
Good music and lovely works of art.
Art is more than what we present.
We live in an image-based society, so driven.
And then while in Prince, I was doing things in sculpture.
There was nothing, no drama, not even makeup. I wanted to sweat.
It's about using your gift to make an impact. And going the extra mile to give others a lift.
They gave me access in the beginning, but when I started photographing, some other group came and broke my camera.
Tune in to Art House.
The organized construction sector in Nigeria began in the 1940s with the participation of few foreign companies. However, with the oil boom 10 years after independence, there was the need for the large-scale construction of infrastructure and other social amenities. The need for more investment in the sector became paramount as there was an increase in rural-urban migration. It soon became a big employer of labor. Today, the Nigerian economy has experienced a great change in terms of the volume of activities covered in all sectors, as the post-rebasing data in the construction sector shows a much more optimistic picture. More modern construction activities have been captured and prices correctly deflated. Part of the reasons for the increase in the contribution of the construction sector to the GDP is the better capturing of all economic activities. Prior to rebasing, construction data was mainly sourced from buildings and constructions of roads and railway activities. Now, construction activities has been broken down into 11 different activities, bringing the total for the construction sector to 13. While there seems to be some level of growth in the industry, especially after the rebasing of the economy, the sector may not be left out among those affected by falling oil prices in the international markets. The demand for cost-effective systems for delivering projects owing to the sliding prices of crude oil has increased. Also is the high cost of fund. The cost of cement, which was before now slashed by a major manufacturer, has increased. Government revenue has been slashed. The cost of funds have increased as interest rates have gone up. Then there is the demand for locally produced building materials as the Naira gets devalued. The Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister for the Economy, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, have urged stakeholders in the housing and construction sector to use the opportunities in the sector as a catalyst to drive the economy. Dr. Okonjo-Iweala pleaded with stakeholders to come together to deliver on President Goodluck Jonathan's strong commitment to support the sector. According to her, the establishment of the Nigerian Mortgage Refinance Company is expected to boost the sector. She added that the support of the World Bank credits of $300 million at 0% interest rate, 40-year tenure with 10 years of grace at 0.7% commitment charge portends the revolution in the construction as well as the housing sector, which has never happened before in the country. The mortgage company has so far raised 7.7 billion naira as shareholders' capital. The company is expected to raise funds in the capital markets through the federal government's guarantee bonds, adding that the government has concluded plans to raise additional 50 billion naira in the next few months. Dr. Okonjo-Iweala added that the federal government will assist in granting waivers for materials as well as reduce the cost of construction through giving out land free to genuine developers. The challenges brought about by the slide in the prices of crude oil seems to provide an opportunity for the construction industry to gain more strength as the government continues to find ways to stimulate the economy.